Hi guys, my name is OP. I'm prop trader from Hashedge, and I'm here to give you the daily market analysis of cryptocurrency. And there's always money to be made, either long or short the market. There's always money to be made based on the movements of markets, either direction. So let's get to it, shall we? So right now I'm looking at the Bitcoin USD perpetual on Hashedge platform, and as you can see, there's lackluster volume at the edge. We are approaching the middle of the RSI bands, and you can see like yesterday we had a crazy pump. This is the weekly chart. So looking at my levels, we are just above on the 81,800 levels. Going down and zooming down into the daily levels, we can see that we kind of bounced off. So we'll be looking for support on this our $81,000 level, and hoping that it bounces off this support and it maintains this level. If not, it will be invalidation of this support, and we'll be looking to also maybe short the market towards 71,300. We have a level, and a level that will be watching. If it reclaims this level, then we know we are flipped. But right now I'm still maintaining a bearish stance, because we have a level at 88,000 which I've marked at the top, which will be our resistance level. So once we can able to flip that level and maintain that and confirm that 88,500 level, I know that I will have flipped bullish. But right now, even with current market structure and the chart structure, I'm still on a bearish stance. And really, just to know what is going on, this was based on the pause from the Trump's pause on the tariffs, and all the markets just jumped, and Trump gave a 90 days pause on all tariffs. And this is just quite evident and quite kind of annoying, because we are in a news-based cycle and news-based market, and we are trading off the news. And but we have to be to ensure that our capital preservation is key, and we can't just unnecessarily trade, because the market cannot be in our favor based on the market, because we rarely know what is going on. Everything is based on geopolitical, and Trump wakes up this morning and he says another thing, or he tweets another thing. Or China, even currently with the China and the US tit for tat tariffs, we can't really base anything based on that. So we have to be careful, and we have to be watchful what is going on. So we have to stay alert, and not to just enter any kind of stance, or we have to be neutral at the moment, so that like I said, once we confirm the 88,000 levels that I've marked here as resistance, and we can confirm that, then I will flip bullish, and I know. But for now, I'm still sticking on a bearish stance, hoping that we would return back to the 71,000 levels, because I'll be watching until China itself has confirmed a deal. Until China has confirmed a deal with them, which they have already said. There's already news out there that China says is willing to resolve differences with the US through consultation and negotiation. But once that it is properly confirmed and there's a negotiation on the table, that is when I know that this is confirmed. But for now, we'll still remain in our stance. We'll just look at the fear and greed index. We can see that extreme fear, we have gone a little bit up, but we are still on extreme fear. We are still in extreme fear territory, but that is still showing that a lot of people are still skeptical of the market, just like us, and we are still leaning bearish. But we are not fearful at the moment. We are just leaning bearish, and we are just taking advantage, and we can take advantage of whatever is going on. You can see like the odds of a recession also has fallen in 2024, has fallen to 55% after this 90-day tariff pause. So we are trading, like I said earlier, we are trading on a news based market, news cycle based market, and this is not healthy for markets. I think this is why people are still in fear, and it is going to affect the markets in general. Yeah, and he also, that was before, even after he put the pause, the 90-day pause. China is still increased China's tariff to 125% effective immediately, and Trump, of course, is boasting that 75 countries are in contact with them to negotiate, and he's just making the rounds and making it. And with this pump yesterday that we saw with Bitcoin, it was a 5.5 trillion was added to the stock market, which was quite alarming with that pump. And just to even look at it, and just to look at what has done with the current drop in the market, we have we have been down about 32%. We have been down like 32% from our all-time high of $109,000. So this 32% drop that we are experiencing is quite dramatic, and we have this percentage to still go back up. And although it's lower than the last drop deep in the market, but 32% is something to still see. Let's listen to President Trump stating that no other president will have done, and he's taking all the rounds and gloating on what he has done and how China and between China and US, the whole tit for tat going.
Dude, no other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents, they wouldn't have done it. And it had to be done. What was happening to us on trade, not only with, if you look at it, not only with China, but China was by far the biggest abuser in history, and others also, but somebody had to do it. They had to stop because it was not sustainable. Last year, China made $1 trillion off trade with the United States. That's not right. And now I've reversed it. It's for a short period of time, but we made $2 billion. We're making now $2 billion a day. And somebody had to do it. Roger actually said it. Charles Schwab was here a little while ago, one of the great financial people, and he said he's been waiting for 40 years for somebody to do what I did over the last month. And if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have a country. It wouldn't be sustainable. So I'm honored to have done it. And, look, nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China. China wants to make.
So it's quite interesting. He's gloating and taking the rounds, claiming victory that he would have done it. But again, another question comes up because Trump also tweeted on Truth Social that this is a great time to buy just before the market started pumping yesterday, and we reclaimed the levels which we are at $82,000 per Bitcoin. So a question also comes in whether we are being whether this is market manipulation by the Trump team and Trump himself, and is yet to be seen and everything. Just for further bullish news and more pro Bitcoin news, pro Bitcoin, Paul Atkins has officially been confirmed as the new SEC chair, so Security Exchange and Commissions chair, and this is also bullish for us, also setting the theme and the thesis that we are going up further. But I wouldn't count on that just going on further just almost immediately. Like I said, I will still wait for a reclaim of the support levels, of the resistance levels at 88,500. That's 88,000, 89,000. Once we get to that resistance and we cross that resistance and we make a support and we make a confirmation of that, then that is my confirmation signal that we are flipped and we are back in the bullish zone. But for now, I'm still sticking bearish, like I said. Just to conclude this market analysis with something somebody respected in the Bitcoin space, Bob Loukas, has tweeted, and I feel is very, very interesting and very, very insightful for us to pay attention and just to have in our minds and to think about. And he says Bitcoin should be reaping, but now it's anchored, not talking just this week, but sniffing it out for months. This should be a character-defining moment. Remember the chancellor on the brink, but we abandoned the core cypherpunk principles. We embraced mass TradFi custody. We welcomed the financialization of Bitcoin through paper claims. We cheered corporations hoarding Bitcoin funded by debt. We backed government involvement and adoption just because it made the number go up faster. We stopped pushing for self-custody and real on-chain peer-to-peer use. The Bitcoin that drew me in was defiant. It said no to TradFi, no to government, and it was fuck you money. Fuck you to all dependencies. Reply guy will still say Bitcoin doesn't care, it's still that, but it's not. Bitcoin is what its community believes and practice. It's a mindset. It is consensus. That consensus will be needed in the future as attacks will come. The community will be meek. TradFi was always going to come, inevitable. It's an open protocol, but why support it out of greed? Why encourage it and why adopt it? Bitcoin will eventually reap higher, price will go up, probably a lot. My point is dependency and correlation. The community is selling it. So it makes us think, of course, this tweet is more philosophical and leaning towards pro-Bitcoin stance and going back to the cypherpunk days and the reason Bitcoin was invented by infamous or famous Satoshi So it's just making us to think whether we have lost why we're here, and whether we have lost our vision and our mission and what we are doing by embracing and happy that institutional buyers are here, because of course they come with manipulating the market. Like we are saying, Trump is just manipulating the market to his benefit. He's tweeting and the market is pumping. His son's project, World Liberty Finance, too, they are tweeting and they are doing different things. Even you can even look back at this at the meme coin drop, the meme coin that they launched, the Trump meme coin, the Melania and all that, and even the Argentina meme coin when they launched that also, and all the debacle surrounding that also was like an onset, and that showed how this space is easily manipulated, and all these sharks, all these institutional guys, they are now here to take over this market, and if we are not careful as retailers, we will get manipulated and bullied out of our positions if we are not careful. So we have to pay attention to all of this from a fundamental perspective, then also to coupling the fundamental perspective with the technical perspective to be able to ensure that we are at the right side of the market, at the right side of where the smart money and what the smart money is doing. Because when we are able to understand what the smart money is doing, that's why we always pay attention to the fundamental analysis. When we understand what the smart money is doing, we can position ourselves on the side of the smart money and capture and take advantage of what they are doing and write that up and make money in the process. Because of course, that's why we are here. We are here to make money, and we have to make money. And yes, that's the whole aim of this. Anyways, thank you for this analysis, for this analysis, and I'll get back to you. And of course, you are here watching my journey from zero to Ferrari. Thank you. Bye.